The results for the Machakos by-elections are finally out. And Agnes Kavundi has emerged the winner by 104,000 votes, followed by the UDA candidate who managed 19,000 votes. The turnout during this particular by-elections was so low. But I want to ask you a question. What's your take on the performance of the UDA candidate? Do you think he performed poorly, he tried, or he performed well? Personally, I think he performed well. Getting 19,000 from a wiper stronghold is not very easy. The only problem is that UDA party overrated their ability in Kalonzo Musyoka's stronghold, or they underrated Wiper and Kalonzo Musyoka in Ukambani. But personally, I strongly believe that he performed so well. In fact, I was telling another friend of mine online here, when we were discussing the performance, the expectation, he's a UDA guy, he believed that they were going to perform. And I told him that UDA were going to get less than 18% of the votes. And from my calculations, I think they got almost that figure, that percentage. Remember, in the last election, the Senate seat in Machakos was won by another political party. The late Kabaka was not elected on a Wiper ticket. So Wiper as a political party has added one more senator on their side. And at the gubernatorial level, Alfred Mutua also defeated the Wiper candidate in Machakos. The Machakos town member of parliament was elected on a Jubilee ticket. So again, Machakos County is not really a village or a rural kind of county, because Machakos town at the river are predominantly cosmopolitan town. But the performance of this guy, in my considered opinion, is not very bad. But I want to offer William Samoei Ruto and his brigades unsolicited advice, because I believe that from this particular election, after this particular by-election, William Ruto must go back to the drawing board and do a SWOT analysis. He must figure out their strengths, their weaknesses, the opportunities which exist for them, and the threats which they're likely to face. But before you do that, if you're watching this video for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now let us get back to business. UDA party wanted to win the Machakos by-election, but they failed in that mission. What should they do after this by-election? Because remember, these guys lost one in Msambweni, which gave them the momentum. And after the Msambweni by-election, there were several by-elections which happened. So they decided to venture into those by-elections. And they were upbeat because of the momentum they gained from Msambweni. But when the elections were finally conducted, they lost in Matungu, they lost in Kabuchai, and now they've also lost in Machakos. And strategically, William Ruto then decided to pull out of Juja parliamentary by-election, because again, they were likely to lose here. Then he also pulled out, or strategically decided to support the KANU candidate for Garissa, Yusuf Haji's son. But he's going to try his luck in Bonchari in Kisii region. So if he's going to win in Bonchari, again, he's going to gain another momentum. But he was staring at a possible loss in Juja. And of course, in Garissa, the politics there is clan-based. And because the clans were already pushing for Haji's son, there was nothing he could do about that. But what do you think William Ruto needs to do after a series of these losses? In Kabuchai, in Matungu, and now in Machakos. In my considered opinion, he must do these 6 things. The first thing he must do is that William Ruto must change strategy. and ask himself the hard question. Are crowds working for him? Because William Ruto's rallies are always attended massively. But if you look at the performance from this particular by-election, something is wrong. William Ruto is being played. Either the crowds don't come from those regions, or these crowds are attending these particular rallies because they are influenced. Let's go to Matungu. In Matungu, there is a region where their candidate performed dismally. That's the same place where William Ruto held one of the massive rallies in Kakamega County. And that's where he announced that they were going to win the seat. When votes were cast, his candidate performed dismally. In Machakos, William Ruto has been attending several functions because he has several members of parliament allied to him. Apart from Mwala, where I think the candidate got, is it I think 8,000, a single constituency. In fact, these figures would have shamed the president were it not for the performance in Mwala. Apart from Mwala, William Ruto's candidate performed dismally, despite the fact that in Machakos town, this guy used to attract huge rallies. So his team must go back, and I know they're going to do this, and ask themselves whether the investment they're making on these crowds are working for them or they're not working. I want to give you a typical example. William Ruto, before he attends a rally, his team always advertise for this or announce it way before the day, and then they mobilize. He was supposed to go to Kirinyaga County, and the husband to the women rep was already mobilizing the crowd 1 week ahead of the visit. I think this is what is carrying Tanga away, the crowd. Raila Odinga just wakes up one morning and says, I'm going to go to this place. The next day, he will go there, crowd will be there. So I think William Ruto must figure out whether this crowd are working for him. The second thing he must do, and I strongly believe this is going to help him, he must do a SWOT analysis on his appointment. Are they adding value to his campaign, or are they not adding value to his campaign? If you go to Western Kenya, William Ruto has appointment. Key among them is Boni Halwale. The question is Boni Halwale adding value to William Samoei Ruto? Or is his presence in UDA party making certain people shy away from joining the party? In Machakos, his point man is actually Johnston Muthama, the immediate senator. Johnston Muthama, not really the immediate senator, but he was the senator between 2013 and 2017. Is the presence of Johnston Muthama in William Ruto's camp scaring away potential supporters from Cumberland? Because remember, some of these people, some of these point men are actually fighting, using William Ruto to fight their own political wars, which Ruto should not be involved in. If you go to Coast, for example, Hassan Omar is his point person. Of course, and Jichopevu and Aisha Jomo. Of course, for them, they delivered in Msambweni. But is their presence scaring some other guys? So these are some of the questions which the deputy president will have to sit down with his team and figure out how they are going to deal with them. So that if Muthama's presence in UDA party is going to scare away his potential supporters from Ukambani, then he must figure out how he's going to retain Muthama, but at the same time, look for someone else to spearhead the campaigns in Ukambani. Because the other thing is, and I've stated this severally, Raphael Tuju could not sell Jubilee in Nyanza. But Onyango Law sold Jubilee in Nyanza without any problem. So he must do that. Number 3, I think they must also figure out UDA acceptability across this nation. Number 3, The third question they must ask themselves is UDA acceptability across the country. Is UDA as a political party being accepted outside central Kenya and outside Rift Valley? Of course, even in central Kenya, UDA is not being accepted. And I'm going to do a video on this. And if UDA is not acceptable across these other regions, then what should they do? What should they do with UDA? In Msambweni, they won because the guy was an independent candidate. So that cannot be attributed to UDA as a political party. So if UDA is not acceptable because Jubilee is still in existence, then William Ruto must do the worst thing. He must resign from Jubilee Party. After resigning from Jubilee Party, lead a mass walkout so that he will tell his people that now I'm finally in UDA. So from there, we'll be able to know whether UDA has support or not. But I think there is the question of UDA acceptability across this particular nation. Number 4 is the hustler narrative. Is this hustler narrative selling, or it's just in the mind of William Ruto and his team? His team are always quick that they've managed to move the country away from tribal politics to now a discussion about themselves. Are they cheating themselves, or is that narrative selling? And if that narrative is selling, why are they being rejected? They are rejected because Kenya is still a tribal country. Politics revolves around tribe. You go to Machakos, they are campers, so they'll go with their guy. You go to Kisii, where they were humiliated, they'll go with their guy. You go to the other place, like Kabushai, again, tribe. So is this hustler narrative selling? That's another question the DP must ask himself. Number 6, I think he must now start figuring out how he's going to focus on creating grassroots networks first. His approach is not working, and I want to tell you why. Ruto go to Ukambani, he gets Mudhama. Then he trusts Mudhama with the party. It can't work. That's top-bottom approach. Ruto goes to Kakamega, he gets Rashid Echesa, he gets Boni Halwale, and he gets Benjamin Mwashali. Then he believes, sorted. He goes to Kisii, he gets Osoro, and he gets the Josh Mangi, and he believes those people will be able to deliver. What if those people are not popular with the people? So you'd rather have his team on the ground, and then this team will help him identify the right people, then moving forward. And lastly, I think UDA as a political party must also lower their expectation as a political party. They should stop overrating themselves. These guys are overrating themselves so much, and that creates overconfidence. ODM party lost Msambweni because of overconfidence. So Ruto must resist the temptation of overrating themselves, and they must lower their expectation. They expected to win overwhelmingly in Matungu at Kabushai. It never happened. Again, in Machakos, they expected to win so much. Never happened. You go to Kisii, where they were again humiliated badly. In that by-election, his team was so confident that they were going to win. Again, deflated. So, in my considered opinion, William Ruto must sit down, figure out the best strategies on how he can lower the strategy. I mean, he can lower the expectations of his people, the support of his party, do a SWOT analysis, then come up with the new strategies. He needs new strategy to succeed. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.